And good morning. Welcome into Morning Drive, Wednesday, April the 19th, the year 2017. This is Studio AP Damanak alongside LPGA veteran Paige McKenzie. Paige, good morning. I don't know if you heard the news. Tiger Woods is back.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of is fair. He did withdraw from, Omega Dubai Desert Classic in February. Hadn't seen him in 2 months. And yesterday, yes, we actually saw the 14-time major champion make a couple of golf swings. One apparently, first shot, did not hit the green. Second shot, though, he hit stiff in this 10-year-old competition. There's a 10-year-old kid out there.
Yes, and that broke the internet for a time being, the fact that he missed the green, then hit the green. And then when people started to comment on the cargo pants and wondering what was in all those pockets, that too broke the internet. But my biggest takeaway was, of course, the tribute to this golf course, which we will get to in a minute. A very special day for Tiger Woods.
And my thought is this: when you've won 79 PGA Tour events, you can dress however you want. Don't you think so, Paige? Much more on Tiger in just a bit. We'll tell you why he was in Missouri yesterday. Also, what's happening now? How about Patrick Reed playing some golf in his hometown this week of San Antonio, the Valero Texas Open. The Ryder Cup will be teeing off alongside a couple Ryder Cup teammates in Matt Kuchar and Ryan Moore. And I can tell you this, Paige, it's been a struggle for Patrick so far in 2017. His last 8 starts, he's missed his last 2 cuts in Houston and the Masters. He has no top 20s in his last 8.
It has been difficult, and he is, of course, paired with some great players, so maybe some momentum in that group will help turn him around because, as you mentioned, not a stellar performance since the beginning of the season. In the first 2 events of 2017, Tournament of Champions and Career Builders, he did have a 6th place and a 12th place finish, but since then there's very little to be excited about. And when I kind of dive into it as far as what is different this year over last year and years past, there's not a lot as far as ball striking and putting that's different. Never been a huge greens and regulation leader on the PGA Tour. He's always been a very good putter, but not the best putter. But one thing that always stood out in his game was the ability to scramble.
Right.
And you can kind of understand that when you understand his personality too, as he approaches the game of golf, that there is that tenacity, the voraciousness at which he attacks golf courses. There is this attitude that you like in scramblers, and this is what every player wants in their own game, is the ability to score when you need to score, and that's the one missing link for him. His scrambling statistics are down this year over the last several. If you look at the last 3 years, 8th, 22nd, and 10th around the green scrambling, and this year 131st on the PGA Tour. So that's where the missing link is for him.
You know, I spoke to Patrick in December, Tiger's tournament in the Bahamas, and he was tired. I mean, he had an incredible end to 2016. He won a playoff event, had that incredible showdown with Rory McIlroy in the Ryder Cup. Is burnout a possibility as well?
Well, when I look at that statistic specifically, when you look at a player that is a typical scrambler, somebody that just gets the ball in the hole and wills it in, there's 2 things that are going on if they're not doing it anymore. Number one, it's a technical issue. It's not enough practice. You're just rusty. The second thing it could be is a lack of focus, which could be a result of perhaps being tired or just a mental letdown coming off of a great fall season.
He was born in San Antonio. A win in his hometown this week would mean what to Patrick Reed?
Well, huge. And I think it's going to be an uphill battle for him at this particular golf course because it is the second most difficult, or 2016, it was the second most difficult on the PGA Tour to hit greens in regulation. So he's going to be required to hit a lot of up and down shots around the greens, as is everybody in the field. So if that's the part of his game that is lacking, which I think it is, then it is going to be a difficult test this week for him.
Finished 1 shot behind Charlie Hoffman. That eagle chip did not quite fall in. That's what's also happening now. What else is happening now? Some business news as we say good morning to Matt Adams.
Good morning. I'm sure you've been to auto shows in the past, right? Hey, the New York Auto Show just wrapped up, in fact, this past weekend. And as always, the concept cars on display attracted a huge amount of attention. Well, Titleist has adopted the same approach as the automobile companies with the new Concept C16 irons, which are being re-released on a limited basis due to what Titleist told me was demand that significantly was higher than they had anticipated. This is the C16 iron. The concept behind the C16 irons were to let the R&D teams create a club without the normal manufacturing constraints, which includes time and includes cost. The results are what Titleist is calling cutting cutting-edge technology, their longest, most forgiving, and highest launching irons they've ever created. The design is a wide flange. It's a hollow body with a deep-set tungsten weights in the heel and toe of the club to maximize launch, forgiveness. It also maximizes stability of the iron. The longer irons feature a cupped face technology, and word is that only 1,000 sets will be available in the United States with this limited release. As we've discussed here on Morning Drive, the Claret Jug is currently touring the United States, representing the 2017 Open at Royal Birkdale, the game's oldest major. To find out if the Claret Jug is heading your way, just log on to theopen.com or golfchannel.com/ClaretJugTour. We've had quite a response, in fact, to our Golf Central piece on ticket availability to the rest of the 2017 majors. So if that's a bucket list of yours to attend a major championship, here are the details. Tickets for all of the LPGA and PGA Tour Champions majors are still available. On the men's side, specified tickets are available for the U.S. Open at Erin Hills, although the USGA told me this morning that since Sergio's win at the Masters, they are, quote, flying off the shelves, end quote. You can log on to usopen.com for specific details as to availability. The Open at Royal Birkdale, the R&A informed me yesterday that tickets are still available, but they're selling at a brisk pace. They asked that I would stress to you that there are direct flights available from the United States to Manchester Airport. That's about an hour from the course. You can get more information on that at theopen.com. Finally, for the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow, the PGA of America told me, quote, all championship round and week-long tickets have sold out for the 99th PGA Championship. Remaining practice round inventory is on sale now at PGAchampionship.com, end quote. Bottom line, if you want to watch history happen, there is still time to get tickets, but you have to move very, very quickly.
All right, Matt, also happening now, some more business news. Tiger Woods Design, his architecture firm, is building Paynes Valley at Big Cedar Lodge, an 18-hole golf course named for the World Golf Hall of Famer Payne Stewart, and slated to open in 2019. And yesterday, Tiger spoke about his design philosophy.
My favorite golf in the world is played on the ground, which is links golf, and also the Aussie Sandbelt golf courses. So for me, I think using the ground as a friend, using variety around the greens, a short game, being creative again. I enjoy all that, and to be able to have a piece of property like this, for me, my job is not to screw it up, and I'm going to do my best. I'm going to give it my all. Everyone knows that I'm pretty dedicated to the things I care about, and this is one of them.
So much has happened already at Big Cedar Lodge. You see Buffalo Ridge, which opened in 2000, designed by Tom Fazio. Jack Nicklaus has a golf course. Gary Player Mountaintop. Gary Player and our Matt Janella played some golf there earlier this year. We'll speak to Matt a little bit later on this morning. Ozark National opens next year, the Core Crenshaw design. And there you see Paynes Valley, 2019, designed by the 14-time major champion. A lot of people think this week is one of the great weeks in golf. The Bass Pro Shops Legends of Golf at Big Cedar Lodge. Look at these groups. Hill Trevino, Weisskopf Jacqueline, and Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus. For more on one of these legends, let's get down to our legend, Charlie Ryan.
And Damon, you know I'm one of those people that loves the Legends Week because we get to see our legends and our heroes. And Lee Trevino is a player I've always admired. You know, I like this part of his game too. You know, he definitely is my hero. But I think honestly, Travis, if we look at his golf swing, he is a top 5 ball striker all time, and because he hit any shot at any time. Right. And let's dig into his golf swing a little bit and tell me why he's capable of hitting any shot at any time.
The Merry Mex, right? He could talk your ear off, and he could strike a golf ball. And it's a fun swing to watch because it has a lot of personality, right? And it starts really in the setup position. And look where this club face is pointing, Charlie. It's pointing way over here up the right side.
He's not pointing that way, though.
But look at his body,
It's
right?
going the other way,
Yeah, his body would aim left. So Lee kind of fought the hook early in his career, and he hated to miss it to the left. So what he would do, he would just aim to the left, right? And that seems a bit counterintuitive, but oftentimes you want to aim left and swing more left in order for the golf ball not to overcurve to the left. So he's aiming the face right. He's got his body going to the left, right? So we're going to bring this line in. You can see how different the two are, right? Now, there's a lot of room in here. These lines are not parallel. Not every professional golfer plays from a parallel stance line. Some do, but I would say the majority probably don't, okay? And with Lee, he's aiming way off to the left. Now, watch this swing here. He's going to take it back. Watch this first move, Charlie. He's going to take this club back, and this first move, the shaft is pretty much parallel to a stance line, right? So he's taking it back along a stance line. We're going to bring a red line in here so you can see the club. Of course, they didn't have slow motion video back then. So there's the golf club right there. And you can see it's pretty much along the stance line. It's not along where he was setting up the club face, the target line, right? Now, from there, he's going to take it up to the top. And as he takes it up to the top, look where this club shaft is, right? We're going to bring another line in here, and you're going to see that shaft is pretty consistent with where it was halfway back, right? So his stance line, his backswing, pretty much going along his stance line, which is way over here to the left, by the way, right? Okay, now, this is where things get really good. Watch this. We're going to play this slow. I think this is one of the best downswings in golf coming down. Look at that. His left hand, which was pretty flat at the top, started to really kind of bow out, right? If you want the golf club to shallow out, that's what you want to watch. You want to see this left wrist really start to bow out, the right elbow start to pinch into the left, and that sweet spot will shallow out, right? And I don't think anybody did it any better than Lee Trevino. And he had to because he was way over here, so he shallowed it out. Now look where the club is. Okay, now the club's going to come in. Watch here. There's the white line. Now he's got the club along the target line.
Yeah.
Right? So he took it back along the stance line, and then he shallowed it out back along the toe line.
And most people think because he was set up so open that he hit a cut all the time. Well, he certainly could hit a cut, but most of the time from that position, because of the drop underneath, he played a draw mostly.
Yeah, he could hit a draw, right? And he could hit a fade, kind of an inside fade, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get rid of these lines now. He clearly has shallowed it out back to the inside, right? And he could do that because he has all this room to work with. Now he delivers it into impact, and you're going to see this golf ball start just to the inside of the target line. So it's kind of an inside, obviously, attack coming in where he could hit an inside fade, but then he could also hit an inside draw, to your point, and he could just do that a lot by just kind of manufacturing the face and where he wanted the face to look.
He could hit it any way he wanted to, because to me, that swing gave him the advantage of being able to have everything cleared out and be able to use these wonderful hands that he has.
Right.
I mean, the face awareness that he has in his golf swing is off the charts. He always knows and can feel instinctively where that club face is.
Right. Yeah, and I think a lot of that, too, is because of that flat left wrist, too.
Yeah.
In the way that he would shallow it and that left wrist being so flat. I mean, his left wrist was like just fused flat.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I think with Lee, his left wrist probably never went that way.
No.
I mean, there's one guy that never flipped it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just flat coming down, and then as he would come into impact, and I know you're going to show how
let's
he would
move over here a
control the
little
face,
bit. Yeah.
He can hit it whatever way he wanted to.
So for me, when I watch Lee hit balls, I like to think about, we got our ping pong paddle here. I like to think about my right hand, and to me it's easier to relate to the right hand rather than the face, because the hand's a little bit closer to me than the face. So like when I play ping pong, I'm no Matt Kuchar playing ping pong, but if I want to hit a big slice, I think about the motion and the angle that ping pong paddle needs to be at to hit that slice, or if I'm trying to flip it over. So for me in the golf swing, if I'm right here where Lee Trevino is, and I want to hit, let's say, a medium-high cut, I know that I need to take a little bit of loft off of that club face, and I need to have it a little bit open. So at impact, cleared out right here, I know that that's where my hand needs to be to produce that shot.
Okay.
So now I'm just going to think that I've got this ping pong paddle. I want to be in that position, and let's see if we can get a medium-high cut here.
There it is.
The ball's cutting just a little bit, but I feel like from that position, I can hit any shot just by visualizing that ping pong paddle in my hand. So give me another one, another shot.
Let's go high draw.
High draw.
Yeah.
Okay, so at impact, I want to feel like I'm adding a little bit of loft, and that club face is shut down just a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So I got in my ping pong paddle. Now I'm thinking that right hand, boom, here.
Okay.
Shut down a little bit.
So just visualizing the face. Of course, he would shallow it out. A little different club face now coming through impact. You pulled that one big time.
I pulled it, but I got it up in the air and I got it turned
Try
over.
one more.
Yeah. So what I would think right there is, okay, I got the face where I want it. The path wasn't good. So let's get this started a little bit farther right. Okay. But I still want to be at impact here a little bit.
There you go.
So that's a high turnover.
Right.
Just by thinking, it's sort of backwards. I visualize the shot, and I think where my right hand has to be at impact, and I sort of get that ping pong paddle in my mind, and then I exchange out the ping pong paddle for the golf club, and from there, I feel I can hit any shot that I want to hit.
Right. Yeah. You know, Lee Trevino had obviously so much personality, and his golf swing had personality, right? And it was fun to break down this morning and just see how far left he would aim, and then how much that shaft would shallow out. And to your point, probably, you know, top 5, right, as far as club face control and making that golf ball do what he wanted to do.
Yeah, always fun to take a look at Lee Trevino's golf swing. If you want to take a look at it as well, Friday at noon, coverage starts right here on Golf Channel. But for now, let's head over to Lauren Thompson. LT, what you got for us?
Good morning, Charlie. Wow, great demonstration on those adjustments. And Lee Trevino, amazing impact position. So perfect transition into our first item today on the tee sheet. Coming up, a strong lesson purely about how dialed in you may or may not be when it comes to your club face awareness. Today's Golf Channel Academy Coach of the Week is going to walk you through the 3 different positions, the best examples from the pros, and the benefits and drawbacks of each that could already be a part of your natural swing. We're also going to keep taking you out to the scene of the Bass Pro Shop's Legends of Golf at Big Cedar Lodge. Matt Janella is standing by live. We're coming up. We're going to chat with one of the defending champions in Michael Allen. Last year, he teamed it up with Woody Austin for the title, but this go round, he's playing with John Daly. Get his thoughts ahead of his partner ahead of the action this time. And while JD's personality and pants will likely garner plenty of attention, we're also going to take it all the way around to the ground with your gear. More specifically, what to wear when it comes to golf shoes. They've come a long way, and it's a surprisingly important decision for every single golfer. Equipment expert Matt Adams is going to give you the latest as our pros weigh in as well. But also on the way, we're going to join up with the founder of Bass Pro Shops, Johnny Miller, as you'll see what this looks like now. The latest of these views from Top of the Rock last year, Johnny Morris, and the sinkhole that shocked the scene of this week's PGA Tour Champions stop. We'll tell you how it evolved after this.